If I have got this fact right, your serious pursuit of this art form started after you finished your school education. You did your schooling from the St. Lawrence School at Lovedale, Ooty, and from there you went to Ammanur Madhavachakyar's Gurukulam. So that seems like a complete change of direction, at least to me. So looking back at that point of time, how easy or difficult was that choice, and what were some of the challenges that you had to subsequently face because of the choice you made?
There was a stark difference. It's not only after my leaving school, because I spent all my childhood alternating between these two spaces. A very traditional Gurukulam and then Lawrence School, Lovedale. Because I spent all my vacations, we had 4 months in a year at Iriyalakuda, and went back to school. And my mother was teaching in school, so that was the only reason I was studying there. And throughout my childhood, I can say almost a problem, because trying to adjust to two very different situations. And yeah, then when I left school, until leaving school, I could still, I knew I would go back to one of the places. But when I left school and when I went back to Iriyalakuda, it was more also a question of living in a small town Kerala situation, more than adjusting to the art form or the Gurukula system. Nothing. That was not the difficult part. But coming to live in Kerala was very challenging for me, because Lawrence School, as you know, it's very liberal space, and we grew up with children coming from all over the country, and it was very, very different, and we had like a lot of respect for each other, and friendship was different, and everything was very different. And suddenly coming to Kerala was very challenging, but it was not so much to do with the art form, because that I knew as a child, as a baby, and that culture was very deep inside me. So there was no question. I had no problem, like practicing for hours or relating to the art form or to the people around. That was not an issue.
So on hindsight, do you think that that kind of an isolated environment, a kind of retreat from the outer world, was necessary for you to absorb the art form in its totality?
Most definitely. I think that was, after I finished school, I got a few years of that kind of very isolated training, and I'm very grateful for that. And I think for anybody who's practicing a traditional art form, they should be given that kind of an atmosphere, which I think is lacking nowadays. When children are trying to practice any, music or dance or theatre, they have to cope with so many things in the urban life, or even, everyday life has become very, very scattered. I think I was blessed, and I think if I have the opportunity, I would love to create the same environment for another generation.
Of minimal distractions, you mean?
Minimal distractions and full concentration, and with an ambience